All right, I'm live. I hope everybody's doing well. For the few people that rock with me on the regular, it's your buddy Brash. Living my life. I wouldn't necessarily say things are going bad. My life has been a process of surviving many failures, just over and over again, of big ones, small ones, medium-sized ones. And something that I've learned throughout this process of failing and surviving is that life ebbs and flows. Like, there are going to be times where I'm on top of the world. Like when Pace One was out and I did the show with Don Locks and all them. That was amazing. I had such a good time. I felt aligned with my purpose and stuff. And then as soon as Pace One bounced, the cybersecurity job, the paying attention to things, the fixing tickets and scanning and all the stuff that I do, back to reality. And I don't know what it was about this week, but I just had a hard time this weekend, like doing anything. I wanted to do 3 broadcasts over the weekend. I wanted to do my talk show, and then I wanted to, after the talk show, I wanted to do 2 lookout sessions, and I just feel like I'm behind. I'm trying. I really wanted to do some music tonight, and I do have to do some graphics design work for a buddy that I'm working with on something to cap the night off. But I just feel overworked. And I had to take the weekend for myself, and I literally just slept all weekend. I'm a bit of a depressive. It's not something that I'm like happy about. I'm not saying this like, oh, poor me. I get sad sometimes. It's not really sadness. It's just like low energy, not a lot of effort. I feel beaten down by winter. That's what it is. I'm absolutely beat down by winter. But the positive behind that is that spring is around the corner. It hit 60 days, 2 days in a row. Today and yesterday, that was a nice break because it's been below freezing for a long time. This winter was tough because we had the blizzard of 26. We had 2 of those things. They weren't back to back, but they were close. Oh man, they were close. And my discipline has just been off, and I'm conscious of it now, and I'm working on it. Hey, living a human life, it's all about self-discovery, self-expression, growing as a person, and growing is not comfortable. I want to do this. I'm going to be the Joe Rogan of rap. I'm going to talk to interesting people. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to get it done. I just need some warm weather. Or I need to move. I've actually been debating moving. The only thing keeping me in stupid Connecticut, God bless you if you love Connecticut and you're offended. I've been here 42 years of my 42 years. I lived a year in New York City, whatever. This place is nice in the 75% of the year, but I need a little North Carolina in my life, I think. North or South Carolina is where I'm going to end up. Probably South Carolina, because it's nicer, but I don't know. I'm sick of dying every winter. Every winter, I feel like this is the one that's going to get me. And the thing keeping me here, my kids, they are getting up there. My daughter is 13. My son is 14. He's closer to 15 now than 14, so he's cooking along. And when they get those college or those high school diplomas, I will be out of Connecticut. I don't have anything like against Connecticut to the extent of like, no one's wronged me. Except you. You know who you are. Nobody wronged me. I don't feel like this is a bad place to be except for the winter and the taxes. The taxes are driving me insane. I make decent money doing what I do for my day job, and I feel like Connecticut just takes from me. I don't really feel like I get much out of it. Man, my rambling, it just keeps going. I don't feel like I'm getting much out of it, but that's Connecticut. I love CT hip hop. For those not in the know, I did run a blog that was very successful called cthiphop.net for a bunch of years. I covered everybody. If you've had a name in Connecticut hip hop, especially 10 years ago when that blog was running, I covered you. If your name was on a flyer, I covered you. I didn't like write sentences about you necessarily, not directly, but you were on that site. I felt like I did a lot for hip hop, for local hip hop back then. And, you know, ask not what hip hop can do for you, but ask what you can do for hip hop. And I feel like I did a lot. And it didn't grow. There are great artists from Connecticut doing their thing, but the scene that I wanted to help foster and have people come together and stuff, what I really found out about hip-hop, Connecticut hip-hop specifically, there's a lot of entitlement going along in Connecticut hip-hop. There just is. I started that blog, ran it for like 3-4 years, had other people like contributing to it. And I would go and do shows, and I would meet people who would be on Fuck Brash. What? Fuck me? Why? You didn't cover me, or you didn't know me, or I'm not on your site, or you didn't. I reached out and you never answered. Shout outs to White Cheddar. I haven't talked to him in years, but I remember I was at an iBattle event with him. And if you look at all the iBattle stuff, that league I helped start, you can see the CT hip hop logo in the corner. And, yeah, during that time, I was really like, I just want everything to come together. And what I learned about Connecticut hip hop, again, White Cheddar, he said the most poetic and correct thing about that whole situation when I was trying to do that site. The subject is too big for one dude. And I couldn't keep up. I had this girl, Crystal, submitting. I had this, Doc Jones was putting up articles here and there. People were helping me. But even with them helping, no revenue, nothing coming in, no help from CT Hip Hop. They just all wanted to be on the site. No, you know, hey, I'll help you with the show. Nothing. Nothing was built. And I tried. Wow, this was supposed to be a fun situation. I just feel like I'm shitting on people, but it's true. It's true. I'm telling the truth. You know, I didn't really feel like CT hip hop gave a shit about itself or their neighbors or anything. So, yeah. And just it fell apart, man. And I don't have animosity towards it. It's just, I'm pointing out what it is. It's like, oh, I'm wearing kind of a purpley maroony shirt today because I came from the office and this is what I was wearing there. And that's the truth. You're just noticing like a fact in reality. Yeah, I just couldn't deal with all the pissed offness, man. It got really old. But I never leaned into any beef. Beef isn't my thing. See the segue coming here? I'm sure you saw the thumbnail. All right. So, beef has always been an interesting part of hip hop as a whole, not just Connecticut hip hop and my beef with how petty and weird people are. Yeah, there's a lot going on recently. Everybody knows that 50 Cent is the king of the pettiness. I put a list together for this. So, the thing that I can say about this beef between 50 Cent and T.I. is that it's been brewing for a while. I mean, we're going back to like the 2020 verse battles or verses. We're just going to leave it here for a minute, I guess. Yeah, that whole the whole current beef situation comes back again from verses. You know, there was I can't remember who. Oh yes, I do remember who. Ha ha. So the Lox and Dipset, that was the penultimate of it for me. You know, Versus, for those who don't remember, it's like you have two artists or groups that have hits. And you put their set of hits up against another set of hits. That's the versus battle. It's not a battle of verses like how I used to battle, where you write 16s, meet up at the spot, start dissing their clothes, going off the head where you can, doing battles on the non-freestyle tip. That's not what a versus battle is. A versus battle is song by song, trying to figure out who has a better catalog and stuff. So all the beef with T.I., 50 Cent's got tons of beef, and it's all very, very entertaining. Let me just throw a little search in, 50 Cent beef. Yeah, okay, so there's more stuff on this now. 21 beefs, 21 takedowns. I could probably just let that rip and get my point across, but I really want to focus on him and T.I. So there's been tension between these guys for years. They've both been mutually dismissive of each other. T.I. has some work. I don't think he's a bad MC. He's just never been my specific flavor. I love 50 because of the New York sound. 50's been out of New York for like the past 10 years. I think he's in Texas now. It's in his blood, though. He was the original king of New York. He took the crown from Jay-Z, in my opinion. And it's arguable if Jay-Z ever even had the crown. If we really want to get into the New York king is, I would gladly say Nas. Nas is the penultimate MC in my point of view. Jesus, if I could talk. He's great. But as far as 50 Cent and T.I., I think 50 would mop the floor in a versus battle with T.I. It's not even a discussion. What do we got here? It looks like we're going to start off with a bit of... get this link going. This beef. Dude, why is this thing such a problem? I don't use Suno, so I don't know what the hell that's doing there. Let me drop this in here. Paste. Boop. All right, so here's like a brief timeline of how things happened. 50 Cent and T.I. BET Awards. This is my era, 2007. This is when I was like really cutting my teeth in the industry and like getting to know. This is when I lived in New York. They're in Hollywood in this photo, but these are the celebrities I know, So 50 Cent, no stranger to contentious feuds, and T.I. himself isn't one to back down. 2 decades after carving out decorated legacies inside rap's pantheon, 50 and Tip are now embroiled in an unlikely blockbuster feud to open up 2026. So as far as rapping goes, this has been a totally one-sided feud, as T.I. has been relentless in stacking 50 Cent diss tracks, while 50 has opted for social media fodder and trolling instead of heading to the booth. I think that changed since this came out, though, but we're going to get into that. When did this drop? Okay, this is on the 6th, so this is 4 days old as of this recording. All right, so we're going to get into more here. Although the pair of rap titans peaked in the aughts from different rap capitals, 50 and Tip had some crossover, but minimal static over the years. Certainly nothing that would have lingered over a decade later, like Ja Rule's war with G-Unit that led to a pillow fight on the flight last month. That was pretty funny. What a waste of... He just called him the sucker Ja Rule. And the next thing you know is he's throwing a pillow. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to see that Ja Rule fights at his caliber there with pillows. Versus was seemingly invented to settle beefs, not start them. The foundation of today's feud was laid out during the COVID-19 pandemic when T.I. reportedly called out 50 for a battle, but the G-Unit mogul didn't pay Tip much attention and scoffed at his requests. I get that. If we just go track for track, I'm just thinking like 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, like every track is a banger. 21 Questions is kind of a low point for me, but it's still a classic. It's still one of the best albums that hip-hop has produced as a whole. 50's a king. So tensions were raised in February when Versus became the topic of discussion once again after T.I. joined Nightcap during Super Bowl weekend and claimed that 50 was ducking smoke. I think 50's just bored. But in typical 50 fashion, he lived up to his King of Pettiness title while turning to an array of social media jabs and memes. The floodgates opened when 50 Cent went beyond T.I. and began taking shots at family members like Tip's wife, Tiny Harris, and his son, King Harris. In the span of less than a week, T.I. peppered 50 Cent with a handful of diss tracks and doesn't appear to be done with 50 just yet. And he's parlayed the momentum into a rollout of his upcoming and final album, Kill the King. All right, so he's just milking the situation. That's what this really is. I get it now. He's got one more album in the can. He wants to put it out. I'll diss 50 a bunch, and we'll get some streams going. So 2007. Okay, this is kind of where the seeds were sown, maybe. 2007, 50 Cent doesn't see a king of hip-hop. It's because he is the king of hip-hop, in my humble opinion. Now, I was there in 2007. I was talking with Pace about this when he came through. Pace won, he was busy doing his thing. I think he was, doing Telepathy at the time, which was an album that I still don't know. That's the one Pace One record I really don't know at all. We could do a listening party on the channel of it sometime. But anyway, yeah, 50 Cent was king, and he was up against Kanye West during the Graduation versus Curtis. And I knew Graduation was going to take it. It did. 50 Cent is forever the king, though. It just is what it is. You got to take your lumps like a man in life. Like I started this podcast out, I am the king of surviving failure. So 50 Cent going platinum his first week. Whoa. This bug out of here. 50 Cent going platinum his first week or whatever. It's not really a failure. He just failed to beat Kanye West. But I mean, in the long run, look who really won, though. All right, so let's go back to 2007. That's my era. That's when I lived in New York City, too. With T.I. coming off his chart-topping King album in 2006 and being the self-proclaimed King of the South, Angie Martinez asked 50 who he believed was running hip-hop during an interview at Hot 97. 50 didn't believe any singular rapper was sitting atop the throne, even though, in my opinion, it's 50 Cent. Especially when it's a title contrived by the artist. How you going to be the king? Who decides that? The fans decide that. You can't just call yourself the king, he replied. At the time, many saw this as a subtle jab at Tip. I kind of understand where he's coming from because Connecticut had a problem with this. I'm choosing my words carefully because I don't want to piss off the wrong people. But let me just say this. Apathy is the best rapper from Connecticut, in my humble opinion. I'm going to be saying that a lot tonight. He is one of the most technically proficient MCs on the planet. He's a really great writer. He's one of the best rhyme writers out there. He's so nasty at rap, but he committed... he was probably 22 at the time. We're talking about shit that happened decades ago. But Apathy said on his album that he's hands down the king of Connecticut. I'm not faulting him for it, but I do agree with 50 Cent's take on you can't really call yourself the king. In Apathy's case, he is the king. I'm not saying he's not the king. What I'm saying, I wish he didn't say that because it incentivized 50 rappers a minute to be no, I'm the king of Connecticut. No one in Connecticut had a major label deal except Apathy. So I will accept him as the king of Connecticut. There's no, just stop with that. And I probably just created more of that by even just mentioning the king of Connecticut. Apathy's got the crown, in my humble opinion. There it is. There it is. There it is. All right. So we took a jab at T.I. by saying that he's the king. That's probably where this actually all started. So fast forward to 2008, 50 Cent questions T.I.'s sentencing on federal gun charges. T.I. was pinched on federal gun charges in late 2007. I remember that. And he was hit with a 1-year sentence. And 50 Cent wondered out loud how Tip received such a lenient sentence. Many tied 50's jab to accusing T.I. of cooperating with authorities. What's today's mathematics? Shit ain't adding up. Getting knocked with a 10 machine guns, only get 12 month. Ooh, don't talk to me. 50 raps on G Unit cut. You so tough. So I don't think I've heard that. It is a little fishy, I guess, but I'm also not somebody who knows the law, and I don't fuck with guns like that. So I don't know. Machine guns are kind of a big deal. I think what probably happened is they went, this guy's a millionaire. We want his money, but he can't really make money in prison. That might be what it is. I don't think it's like some snitching bullshit, but I also don't know. 2011, I'm back in Connecticut, had my son Robert. All right, not long after his release, T.I. and his wife Tiny were arrested on drug possession charges during a traffic stop in September of 2010, which resulted in Tip going back to prison for another 11 months. 50 questioned why Tiny didn't take the fall, and the Trap Pioneer addressed 50's comments in a Vibe cover story in late 2011. I'm going to tell you, 50 Cent and anybody else, we not going to have no discussion about what my old lady shoulda, woulda, or coulda done for anything as it pertains to me. I mean, that's a man standing on his business, so I got respect for that sentiment. He said, we ain't going to do that. I'm the only one in my family that's going to take a lick when it pertains to the legal system. Respect. I got respect for that. There's nothing wrong with that statement, but there is defensiveness there. This is probably where this started. Not 2007 or 2008, 2011. I'm going to say right here. Since me, none of the other family members have seen a jail cell. Nobody. I'm the last one. The buck stops here. I feel that person that stands behind his woman for a criminal charge is a coward anyway. Yeah, I agree. So fast forward to that November. After seeing T.I.'s comments to Vibe, 50 hopped on X, formerly Twitter, to clarify that he had to say about the self-proclaimed King of the South. The G-Unit boss essentially explained that the numbers didn't add up for him when it came to Tip's sentencing. Man, I just saw something T.I. said in Vibe about a tweet I wrote when he caught his drug case. He just got out a jam and caught a new one, he wrote on Twitter. Any other time that gets done... I'm not falling for that, internet. Get caught with 10 machine guns and a silencer, then catch a drug charge. You will fuck around and get natural life. This boy got to get out of jail free card. Don't get emotional over your lady. It'll get you in some shit you don't want to be in. If you can get 5 years easy for some shit and I'm supposed to support your family, why would it be wrong if your lady had to take probation? Shit, she ballin' too. All right, so then in 2011, they squashed it. So we had 9 years of quiet time. No beef, all done, nothing else. In 2020, T.I. wished 50 a happy 45th birthday on Instagram, and his shout-out came with a challenge to step into the Versus ring. Pull your ass up with 20 of your records, man. Sit across from me, man, and get this work, man, Tip said. But understand, if you don't want to answer to that challenge, because last time you got challenged, Kanye West dusted your ass off. I don't think it was a dusting. I think it was more of a mutual spit and a handshake, and we're going to sell these records thing. But whatever. Let's see what this man has to say here. Oh, of course, we're not going to play. Why would it work? See if we can see it on Instagram. Well, we can't see it because I think he deleted it. That's why that's there like that. So this is probably it of him saying what the article says. And then July of that year, T.I. kept poking the bear. I just think 50 got an ego big enough to withstand my bravado. I don't think he'd be intimidated by how I pop my shit. And regardless of how you see me, inside me, there's a 900-pound gorilla. We really are similarly stacked. I don't have a diamond album, but he don't have 5 classic albums. I don't think T.I. does either, though. So then 50 wouldn't pick a date. 50 explains why he doesn't want to do it. I thought a Versus was something we did when we was stuck in the house, he said. As soon as we got out of the house to come back outside, Versus didn't make sense to me. Versus to me, that showed up and was the hottest thing. I was paying attention to it, watching it like everybody else. As soon as we could go back outside, I don't know why we still doing it. which is, I mean, that's the truth.
A lot of the new artists, which is what we're talking about, Pop Smoke, unfortunately, you know, they weren't unable to turn their unfortunate situations around. You've had issues in the industry, but you turned them around to be positive situations. And one person we spoke to the other day is Fat Joe. And we talked to him about verses. And he said the only person that he could think to battle would be 50 Cent. Now, how do you feel about doing a versus battle against Fat Joe?
You know, I thought, look at this stuff. I thought versus was something we did when we were stuck in the house.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a point.
As soon as we got out of the house, like to come back outside, I was like versus didn't make sense to me anymore.
But what if? Yeah, I mean, that's what he said in the article. So, T.I. revives the versus chatter in February, a month ago. So let's see what he said.
Hello, it's your favorite sports thunk here.
I called my man and I said I wanted to do 50 Cent. He didn't want no smoke, though. I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool.
Don't forget to hit that
subscribe
button to join.
I'm not subscribing.
Shit that I got plans on doing. You know, producing, directing, writing. It's about, you know, a lot of time going to the Mike Up show, the Cat Williams show, the Dave Chappelle show. You know what I mean? 85 South show. And
I'm not going through this whole thing to find it. He just basically said he doesn't want the smoke. So keep my name out your mouth. 50 got wind of T.I.'s comments on Nightcap and took to social media with a direct message. Keep my name out your mouth. Like, why do you... Yeah, you keep talking about him. 50 clown T.I. by posting a clip from a 2010 Crime Stoppers ad on Instagram. I know Atlanta pick and choose who they support, but y'all got to do better. LOL, keep my name out your mouth. Let's go to 50. Well, we'll go to 50 Cent's Instagram in a second. A treasure trove of wonderful things. All right, so then February 12th, T.I. responds. 50 was a rat in real life. King Rat. What? You playing on my name when only one of us is a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork, right? And my transcript is available online, he wrote. Your excuses is useless. Bars. Get your hoe ass in the box and shut the fuck up and live in fear. You soft, son. You've lost my respect. Fucking duck. Okay. Yeah, he said he lost respect from him on the 12th, too. So 10 days later, T.I. joined $1 Million worth of game on February 22nd, and verses came up once again. But this time around, the trap pioneer provided context, claiming that he and 50 Cent discussed battling before the public back and forth. While the duo was traveling around Hollywood locking in TV film deals, Tip said that 50 seemed interested behind closed doors and participating in the verses, but sang a different tune on social media, which made T.I. lose respect for Fifth. Okay. I don't know why. That wouldn't make me lose anything. It was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and this guy talked about this. I'm not saying it, internet. I just ain't call him out of the blue. This ain't come out of nowhere. We were moving around in Los Angeles selling some shows together. T.I. was like, it's like, fuck all that. Now I question your character. Just say you don't want to do it. That shit ain't going to happen. I don't want to stand on stage with him. I don't respect him. Yeah, but you're making noise about it still. All right, and this is a diss track. So this is a snippet. I'll play this. So 50's mental warfare and petty social media antics picked up when he posted a not-so-flattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny, and then compared his son, King Harris, to the Pepe the Frog meme. Fuck, you can post a fat hoe in a snowstorm on a unicycle juggling dildos. You still a hoe. King said that, okay? I'm just so confused. That was supposed to be a hashtag, but he left a space, so it's just King said that. Okay, I get it. Look, man, computers ain't for everybody. Tip then took it to the studio where he released The Menacing War, which doesn't address 50 by name, but appears to include several warning shots. The bear hibernating, don't poke him. When you see the giant sleeping, shouldn't have to woke him. See what he...
You didn't have to love for me.
This is weird.
While I was just a loving child. Why couldn't they just let me be, let me be, let me be?
All closed eyes ain't sleeping, and all even scales ain't even. The bear hibernate don't poke. When you see the giant sleeping, shouldn't have woke. I don't know how many times I told him, but please hop up all my scrotum. Because you can't impress me with a big bread, boy. The strongest for the longest, I've been there, boy. Top 3 in my city, know I'm in there. And I ain't number 3, what you getting there? I know the way ain't trying to...
It's just not interesting to me. Hey, it's my own thing. Someone's watching. All right, and then let me look at the thing because I haven't... All right, whatever. Okay, so February 23rd, T.I. picks the right one. While 50 stuck to jabbing a tip from his family with memes, T.I. headed back to the booth. He returned with a bristling The Right One diss track, which leaves no doubt he's got his crosshairs aimed at the Queen's native. We're just gonna play some of this.
Shit ain't gonna go how you think it is. Down here we'll strip you out that shit, leave you with rabbit ears. And you ain't the only one with grime before you had a deal. You think you special, end up somewhere pushing daffodils. Nigga, you got less talent, you're less attractive, more average. You ain't got more motion, you just moving where it led traffic. You moved out where it rapping and it gave you a D.
Okay, so I kind of understand the gist, but honestly, it's just a bunch of you stuff. You this, you that, you. You know, it gets a little old after a while. So I guess the fight started picking up on February 22nd. 23rd, he does the right one. The 25th, drops another diss track. I didn't know there were so many diss tracks. T.I. didn't let go. 50 come up for air, close out February. He dropped another diss track, which found a frail version of 50 on the cover art from his role in 2011's All Things Fall Apart. I remember when this came out, he had to like cut a bunch of weight for something. And I don't know why. I don't know. I guess you had to pretend to have cancer or something, but I remember seeing this and being like, is he okay?
Cop, deuce it, tuck tail, flee your fight. Increase the payment, make your antics more effective. I got the power to devour your little rep and you sour. Lil' boo-boo, you know you always been a coward.
Yeah, he's just attacking him. Like, this is over the top, man. You must want some records to sell. 50 attempted to deflect from T.I. shots and gave the ATL resident the stupid-ass N-word award with a photo of a fake diploma. I didn't know that. I'm amused by that. Because you got to understand, from T.I.'s perspective, he's like, all right, he's going to fire up the mic. He's going to get in the booth. He's gonna hit me with something. I can't wait to hear the diss track. And then he does this. Goes to old rappers still trying to battle rap. ChatGPT told me that. I don't need me to rap. You need me to rap. LOL, get the fuck off my page. See, 50 is real. 50 went back to being a multimillionaire celebrity with more important things to focus on than this. I'm interested in it because I'm not famous and I'm whatever. I'm just killing some time and enjoying the look. Yeah, that's great. Hits 50 with more lessons and he backs down? What? Even if 50 wasn't going to respond, T.I. was going to make sure he was controlling the narrative with his raps, and he had plenty more to go off of his chest. Tip returned with lessons hours after his last missile was fired at 50. Yeah, changed my mind too, FN. I don't want you to rap because we all know it'll be ass anyway. We just want you to answer to those Johnsons you juggling in real life. I guess there's that dildo. Yeah, whatever, man. Somebody handed him a dildo at a fucking podcast or something, a radio show. And he was like, it's like a second. One image can ruin you in rap. Whatever. Yeah, I changed my mind. I just want to answer these Johnsons. You can write a poem, draw a picture, do a dance to something to explain that shit because we want to fucking know. Now keep on posting. Ion, make memes, I make music. Pussy.
Yeah, pussy. Hey, say, man, I just window shopping at the candy shop. This nigga so soft. I make music, not memes, nigga, we ain't the same.
Okay, I'm going to probably dig more into these tracks, like, afterwards. I'm kind of becoming a T.I. fan a little bit from this. This is the music industry and how it works. They're trying to reel me in. All right, so Tip harps on 50 Cent being a bully. We all know that, but not wanting any smoke with him, and accuses 50 of physically assaulting women in the past. Okay. 50 waved a metaphorical white flag when removing all posts on his social media pages tied to T.I. and the Harris family. I'm out of here. You guys hurt my feelings, he wrote alongside a photo of him hopping on a private jet. I'm sorry. The idea that 50 Cent, his feelings are hurt and now he has to like go on his private jet. It's funny, man. It became a family affair with the Harrises, who were taking turns jumping 50 as T.I.'s sons, Domini and King, both released diss tracks blasting 50. Oh, the whole family's in on it. March 5th, T.I. dares 50 to respond. Ain't gonna happen. T.I. taunted 50 on Instagram, and after getting wind that the G-Unit mogul was preparing a response, we can go bar for bar, hit for hit, or doc for doc, he wrote. Either way, all you gonna do is show how much of a FN you is. Let's play. Nobody fears you over here, boo-boo. I mean, you're calling him boo-boo. You're not scary either. The Atlanta native posted another photo with his family on IG with a caption message directed to Fifth. 50 Cent drop whatever you choose. Just please keep showing the world you a hoe on Clay. And you still ain't tell us why you in 4K. Whatever. Okay, I didn't know this. Instead of unleashing a traditional diss track, 50 used the Power Origins theme song featuring Leon Thomas to snipe T.I. and his wife, Tiny Harris, with a few bars. LOR, they are going to learn and leave me alone, 50 captioned the Instagram post. The Queen's legend appears to allude to the sexual assault allegations made against Tip and Tiny while speaking to their children. I'm back on my dope boy grammar. Your daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta. Freak shit, peep shit. Keep shit on the low, but everybody know. Yeah, that's where it is. So yeah, that's a beef. I'm really hoping that we see like a peaceful end to the struggle. But 50's got lots of beef. And a Papoose too, man. I gotta get into this.
Oh. Curtis Jack, that's what came to mind soon as I heard the track. Ball spitting lyrical, condescending the murder rap. Heard they shot it to Nina. He deserved a Mac. About to turn the heat up. I got my hand on a thermostat. Ugly G-Unit sneakers. Had to shirt to match, cause after Get Rich or Die Trying, your every verse was whack. Mad cause Diddy hit your chick. You a jerk for that. Diddy clapped them cheeks so loud the neighbors heard the slap. That's why you made that documentary. You was hurt from that. I heard she 4 or 5 guys and they bring a burger back. Spoke to some conspiracy theorists. They said the earth is flat. They also said you work for Illuminati. Nervous rat. What would make this chump think that he could spit a verse with Pap? Somebody better pray for this nigga. Where the church is at. If it wasn't for him, you'll be looking for a purse to snatch. Bought your girl a wig, then you told her to return it back. 50, you a petty son of a... Bernie Mac killing this nigga. Softly, Lauren Hill, Roberta Flynn.
Oh, yo, it's Big Ant.
All right, so I can tell you off the rip, I wasn't really feeling everything that homie said, but let's see what this guy has to say.
Back, another edition of Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in as 50 Cent has another diss track released towards him once again. And I want to say this is like the 4th one in the last, 48 to 72 hours, as T.I., King, and the Money just recently dropped one after he threw the jab at them on the Power song that he released where he was going that Tiny one more time. But he has past beat. Everything that went down with Papoose. And as you heard right there in the beginning, he decided to use 50 Cent beat. Many Man, get some bars off. Of course, 50 gonna have to deal with it. He got a baby with Daphne Joy, so they gonna most definitely always use that angle with Diddy and everything like that. Did a play on the words with the 9, with the Nina, then the Mac 10, because he got shot 9 times. Other little plays off words that Papoose is great at. So he still feel a way about what 50 Cent started 2026 off with taking shots at him and Clarissa Shields. Well, 50 Cent, of course, caught wind of it and said, I'm sorry, no response to retarded A-rappers who can't write a hit to save their lives. Moving right along, short bus shorty.
I mean, that he's ethering other rappers without rapping. Part of me wonders if 50 still got it now, though. He's taking too much heat to just be like, oh, I'm just going to allow all of this. I don't think that's cool, man. I don't think he should just be like making memes and stuff. I think T.I.'s got a point. Now, the reason for Papoose just out of left field doing this, I don't understand. I hope this video goes into that.
At Branson Cognac, as this was right away after this had came out last night, 50 Cent jumped out there. I seen it in the blogs, but I had other stuff going on. I said, hey, man,
Five Guys.
Everybody gonna go with 50 right now because of the fact that he has disrespected a lot of people, and people don't want to back down. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
50 not gonna respond to everybody. Papoose wordplay.
That's the thing about people that I've learned. 50 Cent is guilty of this, but he's doing it to an entertaining effect. A lot of other people, they're not doing this for entertainment, you know. Some people are just naturally petty. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that petty stuff in life. You know, oh, you left the grocery cart out in the parking lot. I'm going to leave it next to your car door or something. You know, those people, they gotta like prove to some extent that they're worth more than what they got for whatever petty thing that they decided is worth their time and attention. Yeah, in real life, I'm not with that, man. I don't want to live like that. I don't think you don't clean dirt with more dirt. I want to introduce to hip hop in the zeitgeist of hip hop that two wrongs don't make a right. You know, there's a lot of people dying over bullshit just because they can't get out of their own way.
Metaphors, simile, bars, vocabulary. He most definitely is more on a lyrical, like scientific, more scientific, lyrical wordsmith level than 50 Cent is. But when it comes to making them hits, coming with the vibes, the energy, and things like that, can't beat 50 in that at all. Now, 50 Cent doesn't want to get into a rap battle with anybody.
No.
He got it going. He getting it real bad right now with King. Like, King is taking it to a whole nother level on the internet side.
Oh, that's what I wanted to bring up. I'm going to surf away. This is, to me, where things went too far. This. T.I.'s son King repeatedly invoked 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away in 1983, the year I was born, when 50 Cent was just 8 years old. He demanded that 50 post a photo of her grave, thus framing it as a sarcastic form of paying respects in response to 50's decision to post Tiny. I mean, that's too far. And the reason it's too far is because 50 Cent's mom, the dead can't defend themselves. I think that's where it went too far. I think you got to chill when you get to this point. It's just too far. You know, you're dealing with petty people doing petty things. When did Sabrina Jackson pass away, though? I'm curious now. If she died on my birthday, that'd be... I gotta find this out. When did 50 Cent's mother die? Let's see what we got. Yeah, okay. It just says 1983. It doesn't say what year. This is annoying me. 50 Cent's mother death date. If it's on my birthday, yeah, it doesn't say the date, just that it happened in 1983. 50 got famous 20 years after the fact. I've always thought that was kind of a sad thing if, like, a parent goes before... why is my thing blank? Okay, you can still see me. Let's do that. I don't know. All right. The thing that I've always been kind of like upset by, like when famous people talk about their life story and like what happened in the past and people that they lost, It's like 50 Cent got famous way after his mom was gone, so she never got to see the star that he is. That's sad. You know, in my life, I've got some accomplishments, and my mom celebrates those. She's awesome. You know, I get a certificate or whatever for my day job. She's like, yes, good job. I can only imagine how she would react if I actually pulled off some multi-international hip-hop stuff. She'd be like speaking my praises and clapping for me, you know? And unfortunately, 50 didn't get that. 50's fearless. Let me see.
The book is really about
this is really, I got to read his book too. His book is excellent.
fear and overcoming fear, isn't it? And I just keep thinking fear can be quite good. You know, I don't want to stop myself doing silly things.
You can have a slight paranoia that helps you be aware of situations, and even in the 48 Laws of Power that Robert wrote, there's some things in there that you might feel like are evil, but you need to be aware of them because someone else's intentions might be very well what that law of power is. You know, so like when I got a chance to talk to him, we even...
I can't believe this is 16 years old. I remember when he got with Robert Greene about the is that who wrote it? The 50 Laws of Power or 48 Laws of Power? The 50th law. I don't know what it is.
Down to the perspective of
I'm gonna buy it after the stream ends.
That won't. This is watching someone else raise their hand to answer a question that they know the answer to. And that means that person deserves to be ahead of you in life because your fear of being wrong at that point is not allowing you to create your value in your workspace.
The book is really based and recounts your experiences of hustling and selling drugs in Southside Queens. And you can draw lessons for business in the staff room from that really completely different world.
The boss in the neighborhood doesn't see killing someone as it doesn't rule killing someone out as an option to expand business. When in corporate America, I've interacted with people that absolutely have intentions of killing the competition in a different way.
But it's just not literally killing, it's yeah. Have you overcome fear? I mean, you were shot 9 times in the year 2000. In terms of dealing with fear, I suppose you're not scared of anything after that.
Yo, look at him, dude. Like,
when you're in life-threatening situations, it makes you a little more conscious of death. You know, and the more that you...
just the way he looks at people. Like, he's intense, man. He's very intense.
Aware of your fate, the higher the probability you have a chance to live. So you're a little more free. Like, I go into what Robert kind of identified as the core of my power is me being in business situations and being the person with the least fear at the table. And that's because I weigh these things up against my biggest losses in my life. So, like, the loss of my mom is the biggest thing that I've experienced. So walking into a room, even at the worst possible scenario, it won't damage me to the point or hurt as much as that hurt it. So I'll go in there in a secure space, able to speak and ask the questions, and I'd rather feel like I'm unaware for the moment within that.
Honestly, I didn't think I was going to come across something this profound with dude, but yeah, he's real. He's incredibly real. I always thought that the 9 shots that he took was the reason he was fearless. I didn't realize that the loss of his mother was what made him fearless. That's a complete change on my perspective on the guy. 50, hit me up. You're awesome. One of the best rappers to ever do it, man.
Those quarters than to feel like I'm unaware in a losing situation.
I mean, the book does describe some fairly nasty incidents. I mean, just in a chapter about the Hustler King, you slash the face of a rival's assistant who's out to hurt you.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back on all of that, I mean, how do you sort of feel? Because you've just moved so far away from that now.
Yeah, I did. But, you know, like, I think the things you go through make you who you are. So I don't regret those things. I don't regret them because I don't think I'd be who I am today.
He's so freaking intense.
I think the things you go through make you who you are.
Look at his eyes.
I don't regret those things.
Man, he doesn't regret them. You slashed somebody's face open, an assistant to an arrival. Yeah, I don't regret that.
I don't regret them because I don't think I'd be who I am today.
Okay.
If I wasn't exposed to those situations. If you ask me, would I, those are unfortunate situations that I've had to experience. And if I had a choice, I would have definitely went in a different direction. I might have wanted to go to school for business instead of having to go through this portion of my life.
Tough lesson.
Yeah, I get that, man.
But under those circumstances, when you're in an environment where you meet aggression with aggression, or you're deemed weak, and the weak becomes the prey, you gotta kind of back people off of you at different points.
And it really felt like that in that.
Literally. Yeah. And when you're willing to go as far as further than the other guy, you always prevail. You always end up on top. It's like the kid in the schoolyard that doesn't want to fight always leaves with a black eye, because as soon as the other kid identifies he doesn't want to fight, he hits him.
Yeah.
But this is back to the
That's how it works.
The negative view of
Unfortunately.
human beings.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, I never wanted to fight, but kids. Actually, I did get hit at school a little bit, but
like
not very much.
But when they say no, I really don't want to do this. Pop, that's when you get hit. You just gave the other guy enough confidence to hit you at that point. Especially when there's a bunch of kids behind him jumping up and down saying, whoop him. You know, like those experiences from when I was really small, I identify with that. So I ain't never been in a space or those situations where, even if I didn't want to fight, I didn't show them.
And then let's talk about the world of rap, which is a bizarre world, obviously, hip-hop.
It's a bizarre world. Okay.
I have to ask you, why you have all these beefs with people? You just get into arguments with people all the time, feuds. What's going on?
The competitive nature of hip-hop has always been one of the driving forces, one of the elements in the art form that keeps it thriving. The youthful audience that's attracted to it has a low attention span. So it's always out with the old and with the new, as far as they're concerned. So the guy that comes into hip-hop music...
So, I mean, out with the old, in with the new, that is just life in general. I don't think it's like a specific to hip-hop thing, but one thing that I will say in regards to how things are changing now, because of AI, I feel like it's all like... authenticity. That's where it's at now. It always has been being authentic is important, but I don't think it's so much out with the old, in with the new. I feel like the older rappers and stuff can still do it, man. I mean, Pete and Bass,
You know, while we continuously...
Hip-hop has changed, I think, to that extent. It's different now from what he's talking about. I mean, this was posted, this video, 16 years ago. The hell is that? That's 2010.
Use metaphors for things. I'll use the metaphor of a fighter. Fighter going to the actual gym, day 2, his coach is calling him champ. Because he weighs 154 pounds, he's watching Floyd Mayweather fight saying, I'm gonna beat Floyd Mayweather one day. Or I'll be as good as Floyd Mayweather. When he doesn't even know how to fight at that point. He just begins his training.
Right.
You know, and rappers psychologically are like fighters, where they condition themselves to believe they're as good as the guy that is in position at that point. So I'm constantly challenged. They come prematurely and I damage their careers, because when you compete with an artist that has a higher consistency than you, they match you up against that artist, the public, and then you just dwindle away. But I'm in more fused than the average artist because I'm more vocal. I generate more interest.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously in a space that they'd actually like to be in.
I agree with what he said there, but I really think that it's important to carve your own lane. So the way that something I've noticed about like 50 and Eminem and these guys who are like multi-millionaire people who are like artists for a living, they fought on a ladder. There's something to be said about like the underground guys, like, you know, Strange Famous and Pace One and, you know, local cats, like everybody who does this shit at the level that they do it now. They're all trying to carve their own lane. So I think he is the king of New York, man. To bring it back full circle to what we were saying before. That's what it is.
See, when the director yells cut, none of my things go away. The big house is still there, the nice cars are there, the attractive women are there. When he yells cut to them, everything goes away. They write the life that they aspire to have, and I'm writing the struggle.
I want to ask you a last couple of points. Women and gays. What is it with rappers and women?
This is great.
You know,
You're right, my alley with this.
Is this an affectation, the language
No.
and the truth?
See, you know what it is?
Is it ironic or is it serious?
The BBC guy is going for the very low-hanging fruit. Why is it when you kick in the door, you have to trample over the women and the gay people?
The song is 3 minutes before you reach an overkill point. You only have enough time to create a description. There's no time to develop cause and effect. There's no time to establish social standards or...
This is why he became a great filmmaker. This is incredible. I just saw why he became a great filmmaker. Everything that he's done in media comes from his understanding of what he can pack into an experience. That's amazing. So his imagination took off when he... Wow. Okay. Well, I got some perspective today.
Moral standards. So when you make reference to horror, do you know what I'm talking about? The average woman is out in a nightclub that hears that is not offended by it.
Right.
Because morally, she knows that's not me he's talking about.
Right. And they can tell. The people who listen can tell the difference.
And if you look at female consumers of hip-hop music, while these things are there, they don't have an issue with it.
They don't have an issue. I see. So it's people who just dip in and listen to two words.
Right. So now, if you say gays...
Right, well, the gays was the other one, because you just, not you personally, but the world of rap seems obsessed with it. It just seems to be this obsession. So it's the way rappers insult each other, the way Rick Ross insults you as producers of video, your label's G Unit, he mocks Gay Unit and sort of has you in a cartoon. And I mean, it just seems a very odd way to... It's almost as though there's a kind of masculinity thing that's lying at the root of this. The one fear that you all have is the fear of masculinity, of somehow losing masculinity.
Well, yeah, that's a part of it too. Like, from that perspective, to say that you were weaker would be to say that you're actually gay. And you know, I know some gay guys that'll whoop Rick Ross's ass. You know, and
that's not where I was expecting this to go. All right. Well, that's why 50 Cent is one of the greatest MCs and most likable and honest people in hip-hop. I swear to God. Everybody says this, that, and the third about dude. He's real.
It's not.
He's incredibly real.
No problem. They're thinking the guy that is weak, that wants to actually be a woman. And then they say, oh, you're soft. That's his way of saying you're soft. He's not trying to disrespect gay people.
2 words. What do you feel now in your life?
It is Robert Greene who made that. 50 Cent and Robert Greene. I'm gonna pick up a copy of that and read it, and I'll probably mention it on the show again. So that's it. I did about an hour. Thank you very much for coming through. It looks like a couple people were popping in and out during the stream. I appreciate that. Yeah. Get a copy of the 50th Law. I'm gonna read that. I've read Robert Greene's The 48 Laws. Another rapper that I know, he got me into that like years ago. He's like, yo, you got to read this. And it's a dense read. There's a lot to it. But you definitely can use a lot of that information in there just to conduct life, you know? So between 50 and T.I., I think 50 just wins. I think it's him. He's got it. He wins. And yeah, that is what it is. So thank you for coming to the show. I had a really good time. And I promise that going forward, we are going to try to stick to more of a schedule. I'm going to figure out what that is this week. But these gaps of not having much go on, yeah, we're gonna avoid that. So thank you again, and have a wonderful night. I'm going to let it rock for a little bit because I got some feedback that, once I hang up, it cuts off. So thank you. See ya.